Today we're going to be talking about sharing money. It's a relatively simple task if you think about drawing a picture first and think about how you can break dollars up into quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. So in this first problem I have $47 that I want to share equally amongst 4 people. I usually begin by drawing circles for those 4 people so I can kind of visualize how the money is getting split up. Then you want to start with the biggest dollar amount that you can pull out. Now if I thought about 47, that could be 2 20s and then 7 ones. But if I have 2 20s, I can't share that amongst 4 people. So the next biggest dollar amount would be $10 bills. In $47, there are 4 $10 bills, and so each person could get one $10 bill. Now, on our test, there's usually going to be a bunch of different answer blanks for you to kind of record your information. So I've used up 10, 20, 30, 40 of my dollars. Each person got one $10 bill. In my head, I'm thinking about how I have $7 left. Now let's see about how I can divide that $7 up. I could start by giving each person $1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So altogether I've used up 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, $44. If I count up to 47, 45, 46, 47, that means now I only have $3 left. $3 can't get split into 4 circles. So I need to start thinking about how I can divide up that dollar bill. Well, the next biggest coin I have would be a 50-cent piece. So I'm going to go ahead and take this dollar bill, put it back in the bank, and get 2 50-cent pieces. Now I can't split 2 50-cent pieces up with 4 circles though, so I'm going to take another dollar and get 2 more 50-cent pieces. Now with 4 50-cent pieces, each person could get one 50-cent piece. So thinking about my chart here, each person got one 10, each person got one 1, and then we found out that we had $3 left over. Those $3 now we're breaking up into coins. We started by giving 50-cent pieces. Now I still have $1 left over. Trying to think about if I can't break it up into 2 more 50-cent pieces, that wouldn't work for 4. My next biggest coin would be quarter. Luckily, if I take that dollar bill, I can get 4 quarters back from the bank from it. And that works out perfectly because I have 4 people who need money. So each person could then get 1 quarter. Now I've used up all my money, but to check I can say 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. These 2 would make 45. These 2 would make 46. And then all together those 4 quarters would make 47. So the number of cents that each person get would be a 50-cent piece and a 25-cent piece. So that would give them each 75 cents. Now when it says total per person, that's when I add up all the money in just one circle. So they have $10, $11, and 75 cents. For this number model, I want to know what equation you did in order to end up with $11.75. And what we did was $47 divided by 4 people, and we ended up with $11.75. We can double check that by then counting back up, and we did indeed find that we ended up with $47. Oops, that's supposed to be a 7. It is nice that you put on those dollar signs as well so that you can remember what was the dollar amounts and what was the people amounts. Let's try another one together. This time we want to do $78 shared with 5 people. Do you remember the first step? If you said draw the circles, you'd be correct. We want a way of visualizing these 5 people and how much money each person got. Now on this time I don't have dollar bills that I'm sharing, so I'm just going to be recording the amounts underneath or inside the circles. I want to start with the biggest dollar amount that I can pull out. $78 will have a couple of 20s in them, but 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, that would be too much. So we can't give each person a $20 bill. Let's start by giving each person a $10 bill. If you get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now I have some more, but if I go 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, again I'd have too much. So we're going to start with each person getting one $10 bill. Now I always like to do a little thinking bubble off to the side to kind of help me keep myself organized. We have used 50 of our $78. That means we still have $28 left that we need to divide up. Let's see how many ones we can do to try to get close to $28. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, we're getting close, 26, 27, 28. Ooh, we couldn't get enough for another round. So far, each person has 5 $1 bills. We no longer have $28 left. We got all the way to 25, so now we just have $3 left. So in this blank, we can say that we're down to $3. Now we need to think about how we can split those $3 up. Well, in each one of those dollars, I can make quarters. So I'm trying to get up to $3, and I'm going to start by giving out quarters. So there's 25, 50, 75, $1. I think I can go again. 125, $1.50, $1.75, $2, $2.25, $2.50. So far everyone's fair, they've gotten enough. I only have 50 cents left. I can't give more quarters, so I'm going to record that over here. We're down to 50 cents left. How could I break 50 cents up for 5 people? I've used up my quarters. Probably want to try dimes next. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. That worked out perfectly. I used up all of my cents. Each person ended up with the same amount of money. They all got a $10 bill, they all got 5 ones, they all got 2 quarters, and they all got 1 dime. So the cents per person would be 25, 50, 60 cents per person. Now their total would be how much each person got individually. So that's $10, $15, and 60 cents. That number model, again, was how we ended up with $15.60. We started with $78. Notice I have that dollar sign so I can remember that this was my dollar amount. I divided it in between 5 people, and I ended up with $15.60. If you don't currently have a whiteboard, would you go ahead and pause the movie, make sure you can go grab one. I want you to do the next one along with me on your whiteboard. Okay. This time we're doing $93 divided equally or shared equally between 4 people. What's the first step? If you said draw your circles, you'd be correct. Go ahead and draw 4 circles along with me because there's 4 people that are getting this money. One more over here so they all fit. Now what do we do? If you said we need to start by thinking about the biggest money we could pull out of here, you'd be correct. Let's see, if I do $20 bills, that'd be 20, 40, 60, 80. Hey, that worked out perfectly. Each person could get a $20 bill. Now you may be thinking there's a problem here because it only says how many tens. Well, you should be able to figure out how many tens are in a $20 bill. Do you know how many tens are in a $20 bill? If you said 2, you'd be correct. Do you think we can give each person another $20 or another $10 bill? Well, we used up 20, 40, 60, 80. each person got another $10 bill, there'd be 90, 100, 110, 120. That didn't work. We only have $93. So in my thinking bubble, I know that I've used up $80 out of my 93. So I have $13 left over that I'm playing around with. Let's start with ones and try to get as close to 13 as we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, we're getting really close. Do you think we can go again? Probably not, because if we did 13, 14, 15, 16, that'd be more than our $13. So each person got 3 ones, and all together that used up 3, 6, 9, 12 of those $13. If I used up 12, I only have $1 left over, and I can record that here as well. Now we need to think about how we can divide that $1 up amongst 4 people. Well, if I divided it into 2 50-cent pieces, these guys could each get a 50-cent piece, but these guys wouldn't get anything. That's not fair. Our next biggest coin would be our quarter. Let's see if each person could get a quarter. That's 25, 50, 75, $1. That worked out perfectly. We used up that dollar exactly. We have no more money left over. So the number of cents per person would just be that 1 quarter, or 25 cents. Can you count how much each person got? If you said they got $23.25, you'd be correct. Don't forget your dollar sign so that you can remember you're talking about money. So each person got $23, and that's where your decimal place goes, 25 cents. See if you can write your number model on your board while I write it on my screen, and then check the screen when you're done. You should have said $93, because that's what we started with, divided by 4 people will give you $23.25. Did you remember to put your dollar signs in there? Did you make sure it was a division sign? Good job. Now I want you to try this one all on your own. We have $111 shared equally amongst 5 people. Draw those circles. Think about pulling out the biggest money that you can first, and then in your thinking bubble, whittling it down until you have only a couple of dollars left and you can break those down into change. Go ahead and pause the video now, and when you're ready, you can start it up again to check your work. Okay, the first thing we need to do is divide it into 5 people. So you should have had 5 circles to show what each person was going to get. Then you should have thought about what's the biggest amount that I could take out of 111. Well, I could try $50 bills, but there'd be 50, 100, 150, and already we're way too much, and these people didn't get anything at all. So our next biggest dollar amount would be our $20 bills. So if I do 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. Now we still have $111. We only used 100. But if I thought about giving more 20s, we'd be up to 200. And if I start giving them extra $10 bills, that'd be 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. That'd be too much. So this is all the 20s and the 10s that we could pull out of there. Each person would get 2 $10 bills, because that's what your $20 is worth. And then in my thinking bubble, I've used up 100 out of my $111, so that means I have $11 left to share. The next step is to share some ones, and we're going to try to get to as close to 11 as possible. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're getting close. If I went on, it'd be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Nope, that's too much money. I can't just give this guy 1 to get me up to $11. That wouldn't be fair to everyone else. So each person got 2 $1 bills, and I've used up 10 out of those $11, so I have $1 left. I can write that $1 here as well. Now I need to think about how I can divide that $1 up with 5 people. Well, I could try 50-cent pieces, but since I only have $1, it would be 2 50-cent pieces. These people would get something, the rest of them wouldn't. That's not fair. My next biggest one would be quarters. Quarters will get me close. It'd be 25, 50, 75, $1. But again, this person wouldn't get anything. That's not fair. I'm going to have to go down to dimes. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's try another set of dimes. 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100 cents, which is exactly $1. That worked out perfectly. Each person got 2 dimes, and it used up my dollar exactly. 2 dimes is worth 20 cents. Altogether, you should have found out that each person got $22.20. Lots of 2's in that number. And then for your number model, you should have said we started with $111. We divided it by 5 people. And in the end, you ended up with $22.20. Is that the amount that you got? If not, go ahead and watch this video again and practice along with me on your whiteboard. If it is what you got, go ahead and move on to the next activity on those centers to continue to practice sharing money in between different people equally. Good luck!